Hey everyone, so today I'm going to talk about some fun art books that I've been loving lately. So I've already made another video that talks about books that focus on learning the history of modern and contemporary art. The books I'm going to discuss today are going to be a little different. They're not going to be a conventional history book. So Candace from Librarian Fan Mail as well as Sari from Sarana00 both made art book recommendation videos, and I highly recommend if you haven't checked it out to go over there and watch them as well. I'm going to not really repeat anything that they said, though I do have one book that they both mentioned. So let's start off with that. Interaction of Color by Joseph Albers is really fantastic if you're interested in color theory. This is just a great book to have on hand so that you can reference it, and it just changes how you look at art. A lot of the examples I used in my video, Can You Trust Your Eyes, is actually from this book. I've been meaning to update that video with explanations of why your eyes do that, and if you found that video fascinating, you might want to check out this book because your mind is just going to be blown. So next I want to talk about Ways of Seeing by John Berger. So this is actually a book based on the BBC television series by the same name, I believe, and both are really fantastic. If you don't want to read it, you can watch the documentary, or you can do both. They're both really good. It's a great introduction into these ideas that artists are really interested in, and he did a great job of demonstrating these ideas through images and examples. So it's a great introduction even if you don't know a ton about art already. The next book I want to talk about is great if you're an art student, or if you've never taken an art class and you're really curious what it's like to be an art student. It's called Draw It With Your Eyes Closed, The Art of the Art Assignment. It's basically filled with a ton of entries from all of these artists, and this is great if you love books like Wreck This Journal, or if you really like the art assignment. This is really perfect for you. Basically it talks about art assignments, and I love how each person gets to sort of decide how they want to give the assignment. Some are very specific on what they want you to do, while others are more open. Some just talk about their experience and what was their first assignment or what they made for an assignment. But it also discusses the idea of an assignment. Everyone has very different responses to how to give directions or how to interpret directions. The next one is a really big book. Look at how thick this is. But it's called The Book of Symbols. So it's organized by different subjects such as creation of cosmos, plant world, animal world, human world, spirit world, and they are subdivided into specific subjects. So you can have an entire section about cockroaches, an entire section on the kiss, which is really cute. There's even a section on crack. Not the drug crack, but just a crack in the wall. So it talks about how these images were used throughout history as well as throughout the world, which I think is great because it's not just Western focused. And I thought it was just a really interesting way of organizing art history, because we normally organize by location and time period, but this sort of brings them all together into this really strange but fascinating book. So finally I want to talk about my latest edition, which is the Duchamp Dictionary. It's by Thomas Gerst, and I picked it up just yesterday. It's a whole dictionary about Marcel Duchamp. It's organized just as you expect a dictionary to be. It's alphabetical. They'll talk about what Duchamp thought about it or how he used the term. I like how they formed these letters with surrealist imagery. This is D, and then you look and you can find Dada right here. They also bold any vocabulary or names that you can also look up throughout the book, so that's also really handy. I think it was really fun that they highlighted any sort of direct quotes. So it's a book about the vocabulary that he used, but also the direct words that he used to describe that vocabulary. If you're a fan of Duchamp or you like surrealism, Dada, conceptual art, he was a really influential figure, and you can learn a ton about how he shaped conceptual and modern art. So those are my recommendations of books to read. I hope you found at least one of them kind of interesting. Let me know what art books you want to read. I would love to know if you have any recommendations for me. And I'll link the video I mentioned earlier. It was a really early video I did about how to learn contemporary art. So there's a lot of great books in there as well. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!